Straight
You're now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to get better customers. Yes, how do you get better quality people into your world? We'll explain why you want to do this, and then we're going to talk about some steps on where do you get started on doing it momentarily. Before we get started though, let me tell everyone I have a daily motivation text I send out free of charge every single day to everyone who's in my text community. If you would like to receive this message guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point, why would you not want that? Text me at my number 305-384-6894, and every day when I send out the daily motivation text, whoever is in my text community, as long as you are in it, you shall receive that message. Secondly, the next step for you to go deeper into the work on your game world, where you can get access to being coached by me, where you can get my physical mailings that I send out every single month with material that is not published anywhere else. It is not on Instagram, it's not on Facebook, it's not in my emails. It is only in these physical mailings. I send out my monthly bulletin and my monthly black book every single month, 2 mailings every month, only to people who are members of my university. That's also where you can get access to coaching to me and get access to all of my courses. That is workonyourgameuniversity.com. So if you have not been to the university, you have not taken a visit to the campus, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and see what we have going on over there and get yourself involved. Now, getting into the topic, how to get better customers. Now, if you are a salesperson, and everybody's a salesperson, especially you're in the type of sales where you can name your price. Some entrepreneurs make the mistake of hoping or believing or being annoyed that, hoping or believing that you can, or be annoyed that you have been unable to turn certain types of people into something other than what they are. In other words, if you have a $10 product, but you have a bunch of $5 customers, now you're not going to turn those $5 people into $10 people. All right, you're asking the wrong question. You're trying to come up with the right answer to the wrong question. What you want to do instead of trying to turn $5 people into $10 people, because you have a $10 product to sell, is instead you need to go find $10 people. All right, don't try to make people become something that they're not. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. What are some steps to actually doing this? Point number one, the topic once again, it's how to get better customers, better quality customers into your world. We're going to put the word quality in there too, because I'm going to decide for you that better quality means people who are willing to spend more money. And by the way, this is true, that people who invest more money into your products and services, especially when you're in a service-based business, they are much easier to deal with, believe it or not. And some people may think this paradoxical, that people who spend more money will be actually bigger headaches and bigger assholes and have more complaints and be more needy or demanding, but actually it's the opposite. People who spend more money are actually the easier ones to deal with. It's the cheap people who don't spend a lot of money who cause most of the headaches. So that's why you want higher quality people who are willing to spend more money. But what you have to do is the work to actually get these people into your world and to know, like, and trust you as someone they should spend their money with, because they're going to spend the money. It's just a matter of where they're going to spend it. Point number one, topic once again, is how to get better quality customers in your business. Number one, understand that there is a customer for every price. So the first step here, as you can see, is mindset. First step is understanding mentally that there is a customer for every price. So whatever it is that you're selling, no matter what you are selling it for, there is a percentage of the population who is willing to spend that much money, that's your price, for that thing. That's your product, service, offer, whatever it happens to be. There are people out there who are willing to spend it. It's just a matter of, do they even know who you are? And do you know who they are? And are you communicating to those people? These are all questions that hopefully you can answer in the affirmative. When you can, then you'll be selling to them. And if you can't, then you won't be selling to them. Walmart has a customer. All right, any of you been to Walmart before? Okay, how much is the stuff at Walmart? Generally, it's pretty cheap. All right, Walmart's whole thing is everyday low prices, and they're not lying. Walmart has the lowest prices out there. There's a customer for Walmart. Louis Vuitton, on the other hand, and you ever been to a Louis Vuitton store? If you have not been to a Louis Vuitton store, go to the Louis Vuitton website. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do while I'm talking to you all. I'm going to go to the Louis Vuitton website and let's just see what Louis Vuitton is selling right now. So I'm going to louisvuitton.com. And first thing they asked me is choose my country. I just want to see what they're advertising at the very top of the page. So they have the holiday season with Louis Vuitton. Explore the section for her and explore the section for him. And I'm gonna scroll down. So iconic handbags is the first thing they show you, is iconic handbags. Shop monogram handbags at Louis Vuitton. The very first bag is called the Neverfull MM. And this bag, it's a handbag, it's a purse. It costs $2,030. Then there's a Graceful, costs $1,760. There's another Neverfull, looks like the same bag, costs $2,100. I don't know what's different about it. But then there's a Carry-All, costs $2,500. These are all handbags. I mean, handbags. If you're watching this on video, you can see these are handbags. There's a little book bag, like the kind Kanye West used to wear, a little backpack, Louis Vuitton backpack. Montsaurus PM, $2,710. So this is what Louis Vuitton's, this is the very first thing you see on their website. When I go to the men's section, they have a handle soft trunk, which is like it's like a little man purse. All right, the man purse, which has less capacity than those handbags that I was just reading the prices for, and this is for men to wear, a little shoulder bag, is $3,300. All right, I'm telling you that to let you know, Louis Vuitton is everybody's heard of Louis Vuitton, right? All right, so Louis Vuitton is a successful business, meaning there are customers, there are people who buy stuff from them. Now let's go over to Walmart's website. On Walmart's website, let's see the first thing they show you. So they have gym equipment. They have this scroll. They have this slider here. New year, new vibe. Crush your goals in active wear. They seem to be advertising a lot of active wear. Clearance up to 50% off. This is the first thing I see. So shop now. Clearance 50% off. I'm looking for the first product I can see on Walmart's website. Okay, so the first product I can see when I click on clearance is a Gateway notebook. This is a laptop computer, 11.5-inch notebook, $159. Did you know you can buy a laptop for $159? You can at walmart.com. $159 for a laptop. Let's scroll down a little bit. They have a hot tub. Look at this. This is an Airjet inflatable hot tub that can hold 5 to 7 people. How much do you think it costs for a hot tub that can hold 5 to 7 people? On walmart.com, this hot tub, for those of you who have hot tubs in your house, you might have paid too much, because this one is $328.99. You can put a hot tub in your house for $328 at walmart.com. Let's look at one more thing they have here. Let's see something that I would have an idea what this is. Let's see. Is this the whole bed? Yeah, Walmart sells a bed. All right, is this a bed? I don't know. No, this is a headboard. No, we're not gonna go to headboard. I want something that I think most of you can understand exactly what it is that they're selling here. Now here's a pair of boots. All right, so all the men out there, you wanna buy your lady a pair of boots for the winter time? Walmart has a pair of Portland Boot Company women's faux fur trim Chelsea boots. That means fake fur. Chelsea boot. Guess how much these boots are for your lady? $19.99. So again, now if we go over to Louis Vuitton, let's see if we can find some boots on the Louis Vuitton site so we have a comparison here. So that'll be easier for people to understand. So women's boots and booties. All right, here we go. So here's some boots for women on the Louis Vuitton website. So Walmart has a pair for $19.99. On Louis Vuitton, I'm not gonna read the names of these products. I'm just gonna read off the prices of the first, let's say 8 to 10 that I see on the Louis Vuitton website. These are boots for women. Okay, Walmart $19.99, Louis Vuitton $1,330, $2,490, $2,190, $1,870, $1,510, $1,730, $2,350, $2,300. This is on Louis Vuitton's website. Now, I would guess that these boots all perform the exact same function. The point is, there's a customer for there is a buyer for every product. All right, that's the point that I'm giving you here. I'm just using Walmart and Louis Vuitton as examples. Kia, the car manufacturer, they have a customer. Let's go to Kia's website. I like this little experiment that we're doing here. Let's see what Kia's got going on and what they're selling. And again, I'm just looking at the first thing that they're showing me. So Kia's, the first thing they're showing me is the 2023 Kia EV6. This a little, looks like is it a 4-door? I can't tell if it's 4 doors or 2 doors. Doesn't matter. Let's see what the price of this car is. So they asked me to build mine. I'm not going to build a Kia on this website. I'm just looking for a price here. This has, I'm not looking at the details. Let's just see if we can, how fast I can get to a price here. And they're asking me to put in a location. So let's put in a location. Let's see if Kia can tell me how much it's going to cost me for this car. All right, so here it is. So the car that Kia is advertising here, MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price is $49,795. But I know Kia sells cars that cost a lot less than that. But that's all right. So that's the car that they're advertising right now. That's the one that they want you to buy because that's the first thing they're showing you. Let's go over to Ferrari's website. Let's see what Ferrari's trying to sell. So Ferrari, on their website, they are showing us, they don't even try to sell a car. They're telling you about all these other things that they have going on. I'm looking for the first car that they're advertising, the 40-year-old Dream, which I do not know what that means. I don't know what they're talking about here. This is, yeah, they're basically telling the story of Ferrari. They're not even trying to, you go on Ferrari's website, they don't even try to sell you a car. They're giving you all this other stuff that has nothing to do with the cars. The first place I see anything about actually buying a car on Ferrari's website is Ferrari approved pre-owned vehicles. So they have 822 pre-owned vehicles, allegedly, according to their website. So the first vehicle on the 822 used Ferraris, this is a used car, all right, so you're not even paying full price here, is the 488 Pista. It's a 2020, has 14,000 miles on it, costs $540,000. Then you have a 458 Spider, which is from 2014, used with 10,000 miles on it, costs $282,000. The point is, there's a buyer for every product. See, if all we needed, folks, was the basic cheapest option for everything that we bought, then there would not be so many places to spend our money on the same thing. So I'm using Kia and Ferrari to show you the low ends and high ends of places to buy vehicles. Walmart and Louis Vuitton for the low ends and high ends of places to buy things like clothes, for example, or hot tubs. Again, if all we needed was the basic cheapest thing, there would not be so many places to spend our money. All right, and there are a whole bunch of options in between these two. The twos that I showed you. This is why we have so many car companies, so many different handbags, purses, so many different places to make boots or suits for men, so many different options of food that we can eat. There are people who will spend at every level on every product. This understanding is necessary for you to understand that if you have a product that is not selling and you believe the issue is the price point, and maybe because it may not be the price point, it actually is definitely not the price point. The problem is you are offering your product to the wrong market of people, or you're offering the right product to the wrong people, or the wrong people the right product. Did I say that right? So you may need to offer those people, they may be $5 people, you got to get them a $5 offer. Or if you have a $10 product, you got to go find some $10 people. Like, one of those has to change. It's also possible you're not making a strong enough case to the people you are talking to as to why they should part with their money. Because, see, people who you think are $5 people will gladly spend $10 if you give them a reason to. So you might think you have a bunch of $5 people. No, they're $10 people if they see a $10 offer. But if you're not making a $10 offer, they will remain or present themselves as $5 folks. So this is a communication and value issue that you need to get help with. It's not a something's wrong with the people issue. It's something's wrong with your communication and how you're talking about what you're offering. Because again, if Walmart tried to sell those faux fur boots for the same prices that Louis Vuitton sells their boots for, the people in Walmart would revolt, or they wouldn't like that. And if Louis Vuitton tried to sell their boots for $19.99, they probably wouldn't sell too well, because people go into Louis Vuitton expecting to spend more than, when people in the Louis Vuitton store hear $19.99, they're thinking $1,999. When people in Walmart hear $19.99, they're thinking $19.99. So it's, how are you positioning yourself? This also matters. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is how to get better quality customers. Number 2, place yourself where higher level people exist and can see and get to know you. If you want higher quality customers, i.e., when I say higher quality, I'm being clear here, I mean people who are willing to spend more money, who can and will spend more money. You got to place yourself where those people are and where they can actually see you. Because if you know where they're at, but you're not there, then they can't know you. And if they know you, but they're not that type of people, then it doesn't matter. So what we call this is placement strategy. What's placement strategy mean? I want you to understand that this is a strategy, it's not a tactic. So those of you who, you may hear things that I say on the show and you pick and choose certain things that sound good to you and you try to go use it, understand that you can't just take this and use it as a tactic. It's a strategy, meaning there needs to be a whole game plan around how you do this, not just handpicking something that you hear and then saying, well, I'm doing that and it's not working. Well, that's because you're using it as a tactic and not a strategy. Okay, so just showing up in a place because you think people who are willing to spend more money will be there is not necessarily wrong, but it's probably not going to work that easily. All right, you have to have a strategy around this. Strategy, again, is a complete plan of action, not just a random action. So if you show up in a new place, how will you get yourself into the room? All right, that's the first question you got to ask yourself. What will you say or do once you get in the room, if you're able to get in the room? Why would the people who are in the room be interested in you, and what do you have to offer them? All right, what would you communicate to them? All of these are questions that had to be answered as part of formulating your strategy, not just executing. But first, you got to form the strategy before you execute it. So, for example, place strategy. You think of a store like Walmart, and then you think of a place like the Louis Vuitton store. You notice that you never see them next to each other? Think about that. All right, where do you see Walmarts at? All right, last time you were at a Walmart, where were you? Where was the Walmart located? Then you look at a place like Louis Vuitton. So, for example, there's a place in Miami, not far from where I'm at, called the Design District. Now, the Design District in Miami is basically the high-end shopping district. So stores like Louis Vuitton and others like them are all in this one area that's about a 5-block radius in Miami. So this is Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Tom Ford, Fendi, Gucci, all the high-end stores where when you hear $19.99, that means $1,999. They're all next to each other. Why are they all next to each other? I mean, if you think about it, why would Louis Vuitton want to be right next to the Gucci store? All right, they don't want the people who might buy Louis Vuitton to see Gucci, right? Why wouldn't they just want to stand alone by themselves? It's because the people who will buy at Gucci will also buy at Louis Vuitton. So they're all next to each other. This is why you see a lot of pizza joints next to each other, hot dog stands next to each other, because someone who will buy from one, they will buy from another. Walmart, on the other hand, you don't see them anywhere near a place that you would see a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci store. So this is the placement strategy, because both of these companies, being as successful as they are, they know who their customer is, so they place themselves where that customer can easily get to them. Or maybe it's a little bit harder for the customer to get to them, so that the customer understands that because they took all this time to get there, they're going to spend more money. That's more on the high end level, like the Louis Vuitton or the Gucci. So when you are communicating to the customer that you want to sell to, you need to answer these questions. How are you getting in front of them? What are you communicating to them when you do? Why would they be interested? And what are you saying to them? What are you saying to them continuously? Because just because they saw it doesn't mean they're going to buy. If you don't have good answers to these questions, you got to get help with your strategy first. Don't go and try to do these things, and don't try to figure it out on your own. You probably won't. If you could figure it out, you probably wouldn't have the problem in the first place. All right, if you already have perfect answers to these questions, then we wouldn't be talking about what we're talking about. So in addition, remember that the world is very large. All right, there are several different places where you could show up theoretically, and you don't have enough time to show up everywhere to find out which one is the right one. That's why this is a strategy and it's not a tactic, and that's why you need to really put some time into figuring out your strategy or getting help with your strategy, so that you are not using up your most valuable asset, which is time, trying to figure this out on your own. But it is worth figuring out. It's worth investing in figuring this out, so that you can put your time into something that's actually going to work, not something that you are hoping works, which again might be the reason why we're having this conversation. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to get higher quality customers. Number 3, increase the value of your offer. Understand that the value of what you offer is not the same as the price of what you offer. So when I say increase the value, that doesn't mean just raise the price. The value of what you offer. Value is simply what people want. All right, if you want to know what value is, what do people want? When you know what the people around you want, you have value. Let me tell you what episodes where I've talked about value. So many episodes, I'm not going to tell you all of them, but episode 2025, how to increase your value to other people. Episode 1768, if you need money, here's how to raise your value in the marketplace. And episode number 1344, diversifying your value delivery. Episode number 434, determining your retail value in life and in business. Episode number 253, increasing your personal value, the how and why of doing so. Episode number Let me give you one more. 2025 already gave you. And all those episodes can be found if you're ever come across a link that doesn't take you where it needs to go, or you don't find it in the feed. Just go to workonyourgamepodcast.com. Every episode will be there. So remember that value is what people want. Price is just what they have to give in order to get what they want. The more you can give people what they want, the more they will be willing to give you what you want. And when that kind of relationship exists, you're giving people what they want, they give you what you want, you will have great customers. Because why? They're going to be very happy with what they're getting from you. When people are satisfied with what they're getting from you, they'll keep doing it. All right. So I'm saying better customers does not necessarily mean more money, although usually money comes as a byproduct of you having better relationships with better people. So at Work on Your Game Live and in my coaching programs, we talk about knowing what business that you're in. You got to know what business you're in. You got to know the value of what you're offering. And the value is, again, not what you say something is worth, but what the people who you're giving it to, what they believe is worth. You got to know the value of it in their eyes. And you have to be able to communicate that value to your market so that they can understand why your thing is worth what it's worth, and thusly why they should exchange their money for your offer. All of these are part of your mix in putting your business together and putting your business out there to the marketplace. And you have to be able to communicate this clearly so that people can understand it. And remembering that people have limited attention span simply because our attention is being diverted through all these different things every single day, all day. And especially because we got smartphones. Everybody has a phone. Their attention is being asked for by a lot of different things every day. So that a little bit of attention they're going to give to you, you got to be able to capture them. You got to be able to get them with what you communicate. That's why you need to strategize with this and not just go out there trial and erroring and hoping that you eventually figure it out. All right, that is a long-term play that doesn't really work because you're going to run out of time before you figure it out. When you fail at any of these, the value of what you're offering, communicating the value, making sure you're talking to the right people who care about that value and want it. When you fail at any of these, you will fail at attracting the type of customers you want. And there you're going to fail, and therefore, subsequently, you're going to fail at making the kind of money you want to make. So if any of these is a symptom of where you're at right now, what you need to do is go to Work on Your Game University and get with me so we can get to fixing this. In my Business Builder course, which is part of the university now, it's one of the newest courses we added just last month. You'll be able to get to work on this ASAP. So let's recap today's class. Just how to get better quality customers. When I say better quality, I mean people who will spend more money, to be clear. When you're in sales, especially when you can name your price, many salespeople make the mistake of hoping you can turn a customer from one type to another type. And when the mistake is, maybe you're just talking to the wrong type of person, or you're giving them the wrong message, or you have the wrong product. It could be any of these. Point number one. Understand there's a customer for every price. All right, Walmart sells boots for $20. Louis Vuitton sells boots for $2,000. Which one do you want? And there are a bunch in between. Kia has a customer. Ferrari has a customer. If all we needed was the basic cheapest option, there wouldn't be so many options because all we have is that whoever could sell the cheapest, they'd be the only one selling it. But there are a whole bunch of options because there are a whole bunch of different people out there. Remember, there are 8 billion people on the planet, and there are people who will spend at every level on every different product. There are people who will only spend $20 for boots. There are people who will spend $2,000 for boots. There are people who spend $200. There are people who spend $900. There's a different customer for every price point out there. So you have to understand that if your product is not selling, the issue is usually not the price. The issue is how you're communicating the value of it and who you are communicating it to. You mess up on either one of those, then you're going to fail to make sales. Point number two, place yourself where higher level people exist and can see and get to know you if you want higher level people. This is called placement strategy. Now, to execute a placement strategy, first of all, you got to get to the place where these people can see you. Then you got to know what you're going to say and what you're going to do and how you're going to present yourself so that these people see you as someone who is worthy of their dollars and they are willing to exchange with you because of the way you're communicating. All of this is a strategy. It is not a tactic, folks. Please do not take this out of context and go and try to do this and then still not know what you're doing, flub at it, fumble the ball, and then think that it didn't work based on your flawed execution of what I'm saying here. You have to have a mapped out strategy here, not just random tactics that you pick and choose and go do and then wonder why it's not working, which is what a lot of people do. And this is why things aren't working, because you're not strategizing, you're being a tactician. There's a big difference between tactics and strategy. But remember that the world is very large. There are different places where you can show up. You don't have time to show up everywhere. You got to show up in the right place, the right way, with the right message. Point number three, increase the value of your offer. Remember that value is simply what people want. So that means people have to see that what you're offering is more of what they want. Therefore, it is worth them exchanging more of their dollars for your offering, whatever that happens to be. Value and having better quality customers doesn't always mean more money, although usually the money comes with it. At Work on Your Game Live, again, and in my coaching programs in the university, we talk about knowing what business you are in. You got to know what business you're in, and you got to know the business of the people who you are dealing with, who you exactly you want to talk to, so that you can make the exchanges that you want to make. You fail at any of these pieces that I'm talking about here today, then the whole thing falls apart. Okay, the whole thing falls apart if any of these are failed on. You fail at these, you will fail at attracting the type of customers you want, fail at making the sales that you want to make, simply because you're giving the wrong message to the wrong person at the wrong time. All said, text me to get my daily motivation. My number is 305-384-6894, and go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can start working with me directly. We can get clear on what business you're in, clear on what you're offering, clear on who you're offering it to, price point you want to offer it at based on how much money you're trying to make, who you want to serve, what type of people you want to serve, how you want to serve them. All of that is part of a big picture strategy. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, get into my coaching programs, get access to my courses, get my physical mailings that I send out every single month, and let's get to work on professionalizing your business. Work on your game. Dre all day.